Hey everybody, time now for this week's On the Rise with Scout.com's Kyle Bogey. I'm Lauren Plant, and every week we want to kind of keep you up to date on what's going on in the recruiting world within the Great Lakes region, and Kyle is here to do it each and every week. We hope you enjoy it. All right, let's start with the outside linebacker from Battle Creek Central, talking about Brandon Randall.
Yeah, he's having a big senior year. Scout.com's Alan True says that is the reason why he goes from a 3-star to a 4-star. Some people obviously don't want to pay attention to rankings or anything like that, but a nice bump up for him and some recognition for having a big senior season. Of course, that makes Michigan State look a little bit better as well. He's number 27 overall outside linebacker in that 2016 class, 6'2", 215 pounds. Good news that he's having such a big year so far.
Absolutely. What's going on with class of 2018 Muskegon offensive tackle, the sophomore? We're talking about Antoine Reed.
Yeah, not trying to get too much into some of the freshmen and sophomores that are out there, but really a big kid, yes. 6'7". You can't really ignore the size that he has, and he's visiting Michigan. He's looking at Notre Dame. Some other schools are starting to get involved with him early in the process because the potential for what he could be, in a couple of years is really out there. So things are happening really quickly with him. We haven't seen a lot of scholarship offers maybe come down the pike at this point, but when he's starting to visit these Power 5 conference schools, he's probably going to be a big-time recruit, and I mean, good for him. He's starting to develop a little bit as well.
Well, we're seeing it at the NFL level right now, the need for great offensive tackles, because it doesn't matter how great your quarterbacks are, how great your system is, and literally we're seeing this across the NFL, and we're seeing this for colleges too. It's so important to keep those quarterbacks not only upright and mobile, but injury-free.
On the field. Just ask Matthew Stafford.
Exactly. And if MSU lost Connor Cook, then that is somebody, their whole strategy is going to completely change. And so being a sophomore, and if they see potential as a sophomore, they go, here's a guy we can groom. That's why they're getting
And they do that. They keep guys at an arm's length. They want to make sure that, they build an early relationships that if he becomes a big-time recruit, they have that established on the line.
Let's go back to the class of 2017. We're talking about the juniors. Ann Arbor Pioneers' Antoine Simmons is in the news.
Yeah, he picked up an offer from Notre Dame. That's a huge offer for him, this early in the process. And once you get, a big offer like that, a national offer, if you will, a lot of other schools could get involved with you. So it'll be intriguing to see what that could mean moving forward. But Brian Kelly, Notre Dame, they're starting to make a real presence here in the state of Michigan as well. And I think that's, obviously that's a great thing when you have, other big schools coming into the state trying to pluck some other talent. But that's a big offer for that young man.
Obviously, Notre Dame as a program over the last several years has, especially under Brian Kelly's watch, they were in the national title game not too long ago. But, the fact that they killed the series with Michigan, so that's done. But yet, maybe that is an advantage in some way of coming into the state to recruit.
It certainly could be, and I think they need to get back in the minds of kids in the state of Michigan because they aren't here every other year, whether it be in East Lansing or Ann Arbor.
Right.
The interesting thing will be too, though, it seems as though Michigan and Dave Brandon were the ones that kind of killed that rivalry with Notre Dame. They didn't want to have that partnership year in, year out, but I think it's coming back. Yeah, exactly. I kind of get the feeling that was a one-man decision, and everyone didn't necessarily agree with it. So I think it could be a situation where Michigan and Notre Dame play each other again.
Right, and when you've got two alpha males like Harbaugh and Brian Kelly, I think they both say, this is, when we go there and we beat them, that's great for us recruiting-wise, right?
Absolutely.
And we'll take that gamble. All right, let's wrap it up with some class of 2017 visits that are happening.
Yeah, a few tight ends are making their way to Ann Arbor for Michigan's game against BYU. Greenville tight end Keegan Casso, he's a young man with a lot of talent, a balanced kid. Michigan's giving him an early look. Of course, they want to use a lot of tight ends. Also, Bryce Wolma, a young man from Saline, a kid that, again, he's on the radar. He's a junior. He's up and coming and doing a nice job this year. So those are a couple of guys that Michigan's keeping an eye on early in the process. One other thing I want to mention, though, and we talked about this kid a lot last year, #1 overall tight end in the 2015 class, Chris Clark.
Yeah.
He went to UCLA, originally committed to Michigan for a time, North Carolina as well. He already transferred from UCLA, and he's saying that he's going to consider Michigan, Michigan State, other schools that he looked at, previously. Don't know what's going to happen with that situation, but at least, keep his name on your radar just to see what happens with that, because he's looking for a school, and it seems like it's going to be a detailed process moving forward.
Well, I think those who have followed Harbaugh's career over the years know that he loves that two tight end set. He loves running the ball, that power game, and obviously he's had a lot of success with that. And I think that we are going to start to see a lot more. Who knows? It's going to be very interesting. Kyle Bogey, thank you so much. You can catch him, of course, on Scout.com. You can listen to him on 97.1 The Ticket. He has the Recruit Report on State Champs every Sunday at 9 a.m., so make sure you check that out. If he happens to be on the radio at the same time, let's say between 10 and 11 on a Friday night, you can flip over to Detroit Sports 105.1 because, we're talking high school football there. Other than that, give this guy a listen, all right? And before we go, we definitely have to give you some props, my friend. You called Cassius Winston going to Michigan State. What had you convinced?
It was Michigan or Michigan State from the get-go. I think it was an easy decision. I won't take too much credit because I think it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. We'll see you next time on the Rise.